The U.S. is quickly becoming a hot zone. There are more than 43,000 cases now, and New York City is a hot zone itself. There are more than 20,000 confirmed cases in New York State. There are outbreaks, too, in states like Louisiana, where millions recently celebrated Mardi Gras. As Jackson Proskow reports, it's deeply worrying and adding urgency to calls for a federal bailout.
New York is now the epicenter of the epidemic in the U.S., with more than 10,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in New York City alone.
I want America to understand, this week it's going to get bad.
Hospitals have been told to increase their capacity by at least 50%. A convention center in Manhattan is being converted into a 1,000-bed field hospital for the difficult days ahead.
That trajectory is going up, the wave is still going up. And we have a lot of work to do to get that rate down.
State governors are pleading with the White House to nationalize production of essential medical supplies like masks and ventilators.
We just received our allotment from the federal government's National Strategic Stockpile. Is it barely enough to cover one shift at that hospital? Not even a full day's worth.
100 million Americans, nearly 1 in every 3, face direct orders from their local governments to stay home. Louisiana, where more than 1 million tourists celebrated Mardi Gras last month, is reporting the fastest growth of confirmed cases in the world, according to local doctors.
This is disgraceful. We do not have time.
But as the U.S. economy nosedives, help is caught up in political wrangling. In Washington, lawmakers remain deadlocked over a $2 trillion aid package. Concerned unrestricted handouts to corporations won't offer long-term relief to the workers who need them.
Why do the members of the United States Senate continue to double down on stupid?
More than 100 people have died from COVID-19 in the U.S. today alone. Yet President Trump seems intent on lifting restrictions and getting people back to work as soon as possible, perhaps within 1 week. This morning he tweeted that the cure should not be worse than the problem, but his ambition flies in the face of the reality medical experts say the U.S. is now facing. Donna?
A grim reality. Jackson Proskow in Washington, thanks. The Olympic Games are in serious doubt. A longtime member of the International Olympic Committee believes the Summer Games will be postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And Canada has already stated that Team Canada will not participate. Eric Sorensen reports on the push to postpone.
Tokyo!
The moment Tokyo won the Summer Olympics. Then 7 years of preparation. It's hard to let go for Japan and the International Olympic Committee. But former IOC Vice President Canadian Dick Pound says the decision has been made.
There's going to be a postponement, but they want to be able to put together all of the very, very complicated elements of a postponement.
Still more than 4 months to go.
Thomas Bach and the IOC are still giving themselves 4 weeks before formally deciding, but postponement became virtually inevitable after the Canadian Olympic and Paralympic committees were the first to say their athletes won't be going. Issuing this statement, while we recognize the inherent complexities around postponement, nothing is more important than the health and safety of our athletes and the world community. Olympic trampoline gold medalist Rosie McLennan.
It's not the time where we should be trying to reach our peak performance or thinking about that. It's the time where we need to be focusing on protecting the vulnerable population.
Gold medal wrestler Erica Wiebe says it is the right decision.
I'm heartbroken, and I hope that this will, allow this IOC to take the right steps and postpone the games for a year.
And this Paralympic triathlete agrees.
Having this decision, we can actually truly take a pause from training and truly isolate and truly do what's best for the community.
It is heartache for the Japanese, too. With Canada out, followed quickly by Australia, the games for this summer were clearly unraveling. In a room with faces covered in masks, the head of Japan's Olympic Committee was resigned. He suggests the postponing period shouldn't be long. It will still take weeks for the IOC to rework agreements for broadcast, hotels, facilities, and the overlap with other world sporting events next year.
The complexity of this is close to incomprehensible to understand.
But it had to happen. The Prime Minister thanking Canadian athletes for helping to make it happen.
But this was absolutely the right call, and everyone should follow their lead.
And it looks like the world will be following the Canadian lead. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
We know you have lots of questions about this virus. Our Jeff Semple will continue to consult with experts and try to answer them. Email your questions at globalnews.ca, and our website also has a special page dedicated entirely to COVID-19. You can visit globalnews.ca/coronavirus.